This is Professor Media here to perform my first movie experiment. With all things tied to the internet, the best place to start is the beginning, and in the case of the beginning for most of us was Hanna-Barbera. Whether it be the Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, or in this case Scooby-Doo, there have been several of us who have been introduced to cartoons by this legendary duo, until they started making spin-off products that have since dominated their name. So today's experiment, we will be looking at the first spin-off product from Warner Bros. I was introduced to, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. With computer age advancing rapidly and the new generation to appeal, Warner Bros. Thought this direct-to-video Tron ripoff would make the same cartoon series reach to a place that makes the Star Wars galaxy not so far away. But instead of innovative effects and timeless characters, we got an adventure that had too much filler and too little time. With that said, let's dive into the MS-DOS of the internet with Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. So we start with a rather suspenseful scene from a scientist doing an experiment. Kinda odd. Something like Scooby-Doo would put this kinda slow and atmospheric scene, with no dialogue either. So we see the scientist and a few students of his are working on, I don't know, the latest Tom Cruise tweet. Until then, like in most Scooby-Doo movies, something goes wrong.
What? Who turned on the laser?
Not me.
Shut it down!
Yeah, I can't. It's not responding.
And apparently our villain in this Scooby-Doo movie is a rejected lightning bolt from Percy Jackson.
Call security!
Why didn't you think of that doing earlier? I mean, even second graders would be going alike. Oh my god, is a walking, talking Thomas Edison thunderbolt with bad teeth. Everybody call the police and run! Ooh, cookies! So the phone gets zapped and attacks a student, while the Empire's lightning force walks to the camera and shows the world its Blue Sky Studios beard. And I thought the Peanuts movie wasn't that bad. Then we cut away to the Mystery Inc. as they partake in truck, nothing that you care about.
It's so impressive that Eric received a grant for his computer project.
Doesn't surprise me. Back in
Oh, cheer up, Scoob. When we get there, we get to play the computer game Eric designed.
Shaggy, you feeling alright? You don't sound normal.
I bet it's way cooler than this one.
Maybe it's the video games that make him sound that way. Because too much Superman 64 will definitely change your voice. And maybe your mental instability. Just maybe. So at the end of Histamine Inc. drives up to the creatively named State University. I guess Monsters University was already predicted in 2001. As the gang walks around until they find their friend Eric.
This lab is one groovy
And no, we will
setup.
not be given any more backstory to him.
Yeah, we like it too. You don't want to eat those.
Huh?
Because they're grown in radioactive soil.
Science!
Why would you grow those in a computer lab?
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for keeping
Wait,
Shaggy and
there are
Scooby
only
from
two
blowing in the
students in this
dark.
division, and this is a state university? And there are only 2 students in this class? If the teacher was Sheldon Cooper, then I would understand, but other than that, it makes no sense. Something else you might have noticed is that the animation is actually not bad. It looks like the original cartoon with its own unique style. Until you realize that this is a movie and not a TV show.
Ah, the famous Mystery Inc.
Yeah, about as famous as the Blue's Clues Celebrity Edition. Pointless moment number 1, people. And at least 12 more to go. Just a warning. Just warning. As Albert Einstein's Nazi rival explains, Houston has another
It
problem.
looks like you showed up just in time for a mystery.
A mystery?
Why? What happened?
This is a hyper-energy laser. We've been using it to break down actual objects and project them into cyberspace.
Jinkies! You mean you can transport objects from the real world into the computer world?
That reminds me of a much better computer-based movie, but we'll get to that in a moment.
This virus is also able to control and manipulate electrical objects.
Computer viruses
You do
don't just
realize you can
appear.
track
They
down
have to be
viruses
created
through
by
computers,
someone.
right?
But I didn't create
I
it.
mean, this mystery
I'm
should be
sure
over
it
before the
wasn't
mystery
Mr.
even
Stoffer
begins.
here, but
The less
whoever
time for the
created
movie,
this
the more time
virus
for me
is
to
in
troll One Direction
serious
fans.
trouble.
Don't give me that look. You would do the same.
You can show them the demo, but don't stop the game.
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, a moment ago you just said the computers will wipe up their data and now they're working just fine. I don't care how good at computers you are, you can't get all that software back in that time. Especially back then.
We used the game to extrapolate 3D data into quantum particles. From there, it's child's play to reintegrate the molecular structure in virtual space.
So you used the video game to put real particles into the computer and not specific software. No wonder why no one is in this class, because they're only idiots running it. I take it back, Sheldon Cooper would be much better a teacher than you, Doctor Who did your hair. So we find the weakness of the ghost of Windows XP is magnetic energy. Then why don't the metal objects in the lab affect him? Just as I thought. So the gang goes searching for the virus, while the items of interest are never found here. But in the basement, where they find some old equipment.
Wow, this stuff looks like it should be in the Smithsonian.
Why do they bother keeping this old junk? Some of this old junk could be very valuable.
Now, you would think that this would lead to some conspiracy in the conch, but nope, never mentioned again. Just like the ads for the Ghost Dimension. So we cut to the bombless duo as they partake in the most disturbing eating scene in any kids movie. I'm with those people. I'm moving as well. So we find that the main three have been caught by a security guard that makes Shirley Clump look like Paul Bart. As, like a nice Scooby-Doo movie, the Phantom Scares are two lost plants, and now we start a montage. Whoever wants to skip this, play the latest Chicago song. Okay, done. After that, we start running. Okay, skip again. So they get beamed into the game, and the others are there to see it.
What? The laser's been fired.
That's that phantom virus, I hope.
I don't think so. Look here. Your friends have been transported into cyberspace.
So, throw a switch or something and get them out.
The game doesn't work that way. They'll have to play through all the levels to get out.
Why is it designed that way? Wouldn't you want to get things out faster, just like that box you demonstrated on earlier? Wouldn't you also want to get like the college dean on this or something, or maybe some of the computer experts on this as well?
Nope.
So we find out that the game will have to play through the whole game to get out. And at least it's not Dark Souls. That would be impossible to get out of that game. As we see that the ghost of Bill Gates' past comes into the game as well.
Let's play ball.
And the winner for Best One-Liner of the Year 2001 is... What the So then Velma has the idea of using the game to their advantage.
You know, getting beamed into cyberspace might not be such a bad thing.
So you mean like power-ups and extra lives and that jazz, or...
Maybe if we play along, we can find out who created this virus.
No, Saga, really. That's the way we wash our hands.
So they figure out to beat each level, they need to find a box of Scooby snacks. Because with food, nothing could go wrong.
And there it is.
Wow, was easy.
That was easy.
So they go into the chase scene. Oh, boring.
Stop that dog!
Why can't you do it yourself? No wonder why this group always catches the bad guy. Because the bad guys are so lazy. Like Gabe Nell on Half-Life 3 lazy. So then the leftover CG puppets from the Star Wars Episode 1 are the segue to the next level that takes place in...
What? If I'm not mistaken, we're inside the Roman Colosseum.
Well, it looks much better than it does now, I can definitely say that for sure. So they go into the next battle with the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Ghost of Mufasa. Odd choice, but whatever. As they go on with one of the lamest fights you'll ever see in the cartoon. And going with the incredible fight scenes in some cartoon movies, that's saying a lot. So the fan reaction to Disney's Hercules continues to get lamer and lamer as time goes on. Wow, I had no idea Scooby-Doo and Adam Sandler had so much in common. Might as well throw Rob Schneider in there as well. So the Last Crusade group travels to...
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
So they try to find a way from the dinosaur that looks better than heading in Jurassic World. Oh come on, even the dinosaurs in the land before time look more convincing than that. Yeah, what? You have real people on a computer and all you're doing is just standing there? Dude, get some computer experts in there and try to find a way to get them out. Or at least shove a game genie into a machine and put some code to make it easier for them to survive.
I'm wondering something here, fellas.
I'm wondering something too. Like the fact that you haven't got anyone else on this problem. Are you that stupid? Something else you might notice is that what the heck does half this stuff have to do with anything related to Scooby-Doo? The moon, ancient Rome, the entirety of the Good Dinosaur. I mean seriously, what's next? Cinderella's castle? So they write more blue sky references to a volcano and find the next box of Scooby snacks. And then... another montage. Okay, how many jokes can I make off of this? Let's see. 2000 Scooby-Doo movies under the sea. Honey, I Shrunk the popularity of classic cartoons.
I will not be the weak link.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she will fall into a sleep like death!
I think back to what I said earlier, they did put Rob Schneider in this movie. So they collect the final box of Scooby snacks, and then the credits roll.
It might be a little early for a celebration, gang. Look!
Oh my!
Aw, man! We're still in the game!
Are you freaking kidding me? We have more movie to go through? You're still standing there doing nothing? Even Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park would be like, hey guys, there are lives at stake, and we should get computer geeks in here and get the freaks out, and I've got lunch to go to, and I will get out of here, and
They'll take everything they've got just to survive.
So this is the final level, and all you need to do is get the final box.
But this city is so big. Where do we start?
Hey, let's see if that woman knows anything.
Excuse us, ma'am. We were wondering. Surprise!
It's me, Jim Carrey's the Cable Guy. So the most recent graduates from the Prometheus School of running away from things come and find their other selves.
Zoinks! You're me! And like, you're me!
Now this
You're the
could be
characters in
interesting how
Eric's
they came
video
to reflect
game,
on their
and
past,
you're
how
from
much
the
they've changed
real
over
world.
years,
Did
But in
I
the
really
words of
wear
Master
that years
Yoda,
ago?
There is no try.
This has been another pointless moment.
I guess it's been a while since we've seen Eric. He hasn't seen our fashion changes. We'll go shopping later.
Like, why don't
well,
you
since
join us for
something
a little
adventurous is
stay?
taking
Man,
place, I guess
thought
it would be a
you'd
good time to
never
talk
ask.
about another movie about computers, Tron. A cult classic from the 80s, Tron had groundbreaking CGI effects, a mature story for Disney, and a sci-fi element that has not been matched many times today. Like this movie, Tron takes place in the computer world, but it is a million times better. Anyways, back on the main focus. So we see after all the new question mark gang have arrived at the amusement park with no ride visitor's ticket to get the final boss. That is, until they run into some more faces.
Get them!
Let's split up, gang.
So they get chased by the Revengers into the park that leads to another montage. That's like the third one in this whole movie, in this whole hour-and-a-half movie. So after the third wheel, we see that everyone can handle themselves pretty well in this cyber world. But once again, in Tron, we saw how the world looks so much different from the real world, both style and archetypes. So once all the monsters are defeated, they make a shocking discovery.
Hey, what's this? Zoinks! I've still got the magnet Professor Kaufman gave me. Yeah, I guess I was too busy being scared.
What's wrong with Cybershag? What's going on here? The Cyber Gang is made of electromagnetic energy and therefore affected by the magnet, just like the Phantom virus.
Wouldn't that crash the whole game if that happened and everything would be like...
Look, there's the Scooby-Doo video game. And the Scooby snacks.
Irony, isn't it wonderful?
Ready to play some games?
For a final boss, this seems pretty easy, doesn't it? At least compared to Ganon or Bowser or any other video game final bosses. So this is it, people. One of the most disappointing climaxes in direct video history. Don't those objects in the background make you feel how much telekinesis would do on a figure like this? When Guardian Leviosa, oh my hand! Wow, this guy's dark fast. Like, fighter jet fast. But looks like there is hope yet when the computer Scooby goes into fight.
What are you doing, Scooby?
So if the virus can't hurt him, then why can't the rest of the computer do it as well? Because... reasons. So a final boss is achieved and the virus disintegrates.
All right, Scoob.
You did it! You beat the Phantom virus.
Oh look, animation error. Joy. So they're transported back to the real world and find out what the bad guy really is.
I guess this is goodbye.
Bye!
Thanks for all the help.
You're back. I thought you'd be stuck in the game forever.
Did you find out who created the virus?
We've got a pretty good idea.
Good, because whoever created the virus must be punished.
But once inside the game, we found some important clues.
Our first clue came when we were on the moon level. The Phantom virus shouted, "Play ball!"
And on the Colosseum level, we found some chalk lines like a large diamond.
But our biggest clue was on the final level.
When the Phantom virus appeared in a batting cage.
All I'm getting is that the virus had a thing for baseball. Bill!
Okay, son, it's all over.
The prize would have been all mine if it wasn't for
Us meddling kids!
Why are they always referred to as kids? It's not like they don't age or anything. Or do they? So the gang is treated to what they should be getting, a reward. So it's all over except for another surprise.
Hey, Shaggy, I just pulled up the Scooby-Doo video game on my laptop. Wanna play?
What do you say, Scoob? Now that there's no creepy virus in the game.
Haven't you had enough for one day?
Zoinks! Look!
John C.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
And that was Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, my first movie review. And what's my conclusion? What should be a pretty original idea and concept turns into a barrage on the senses. Now this would be memorable, but it happens at such a rush that you barely remember what you just saw. Like in Tron, the environment is so immersive and looks so good that it's not easy to follow, but easy to remember. This is just a bunch of pretty pictures to keep your 6-year-old quiet and away from the iPad. Out of all the Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movies, this one is just like the Windows Vista. It's not the best, but far from the worst. This is Professor Media, and this is just the beginning.